That was a recent case actually where a young fella had travelled from Limerick to Cork, and he had travelled to meet his friends for a night out. He went back to his car. It was freezing cold, and he's been drinking. He sits into the car. It's a van. He's moved the van out of the car parking space in the supermarket car park where he'd parked, and his engine is on to keep warm. The lights are on so that buddies will see him. They'll see where he is. And the plan, he says, was to park it up there again, and then they were all going to walk back to the house, which wasn't too far away. It was only just down the street. Next thing, a patrol car comes along, and he is blocking the patrol car. So it was a female guard in the car, and she kind of said, well, what's going on here? And he drove the car into the spot, panicked, and threw the keys into the back of the van. And she detected alcohol from him. She asked him what he'd been drinking, and I always remember he said, I'm flaming, guard. I've been drinking all day. Like, that's what he said. I'm flaming, guard. I'm flaming drunk. And when that evidence was given inside in court, the judge said, he said, what? And the guard repeated it, that I'm flaming, judge. I've been drinking all day. Which was very honest, and I did say that to him. He was very honest. And so the guard decides she's going to arrest him. In the meantime, his buddies have come to the scene, and one of them is mouthing off to him. And he tells them to get lost, disappear. Tells his friends to go away, and they do. And I had said to him that particular piece of behaviour will be what the judge likes to see. It's almost chivalrous, behaving himself in front of a female guard. He tells them to get lost. So she calls her colleague to come along. They come along, and they arrest him, and he's blurting out the whole thing. He's been drinking all day long. This is what I've been drinking. I've been drinking beer, and I've been drinking shots, and I'm reading this stuff in a statement and going, God almighty, just kind of shut up, will you? So he's blurting the whole thing out, and then he starts crying, and Mama's going to kill me, Dad's going to kill me, Granny's going to kill me, and they're driving him to the station. They're saying, oh, it mightn't be that bad, you might be under the limit a bit. And he's like, no way, I won't be. I'm going to be way over the limit. And I'm reading all this, and he's crying, and there's a big teary event all the way to the station, and they're all like, the guards are very fair, really, really fair. Anyway, there was a legal argument in that case. There was a legal point, and I'd run it by a very good colleague of mine, and I said, I think this is a good point, a good defense point. And he said, yeah, I think it is. It's a good, solid point. So that was the point I kind of deployed in the case, that argument, and the judge was like, I really don't think so. I don't really see that. I'm sorry, I'm not holding with you on that. And that was really the only point that we had, right? Given all of what he had said. And then the judge goes, but I'm not sure that he was in the car park he was in was a public place, which it needs to be. Not sure it was a public place. Didn't hear evidence that it was a public place. No, it was a supermarket car park. It is a public place. And the guard said he was repositioning his car like 20 feet. Is that really driving? I have a doubt about that. I don't know if it's driving. It is. Like 1 inch is driving. 20 feet is definitely driving. Yeah, I think it would be unsafe to convict him. I have to dismiss the charge. Now, as he did that, he was smiling at me, and he then said, because I told my client, and I always tell him, dress up really well, he was really well dressed, that you behaved yourself very well. You were obviously well brought up. Your friends turned up and you told them, in his words, to buzz off. So he liked that. He liked that honesty and chivalry. And the guards knew full well what was going on. Like, they were grinning at me and smirking at me because they knew what was going on. He couldn't bring himself to convict the guy. And afterwards, the clerk said to me, the court clerk said to me, the judge had spoken to him and said that he couldn't, out of all fairness, convict a guy of drink driving who had behaved so well and so honestly. And he was honest. A judge likes honesty and wore his heart on his sleeve. And they spoke so highly of him, he just couldn't bring himself to do it. So he came up with a reason not to do it. And that happens too. And that's nice to see. And I don't think anyone leaving court that day, prosecution, as well, to be very fair to them. I don't think any one of them thought that that's unfair or that's not the right decision. I think they all thought it was the right decision, the fair decision. And he went out of court, and I told him to go over to that guard now and say thank you. He did. And he thanked the judge. That's nice. That happens. So behaviour is really underrated, but judges don't like bad behaviour. Don't like solicitors inside in court shouting and roaring and all that kind of nonsense, or giving out or complaining. They don't like hearing defendants doing the same either. But by the same token, where they see good behaviour, it warms them towards you, and who knows what they might do then.